Hey everyone, and welcome back to the number one English podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm really happy to have you with us today. Whether you've been following us for a while or this is your first episode, we're so glad you're here.
Hi there, I'm Jake, and we've got a powerful topic for today that I believe will hit home for many of you. Emma, how's your day been going so far?
It's been going well, Jake. I'm feeling really motivated for this episode because today's topic, betrayal, is something most of us have faced in one way or another, even if we don't always talk about it.
That's very true. Betrayal can be incredibly painful, especially when it comes from someone you care about. Whether it's a friend, a relative, or even a colleague, it can shake the very foundation of trust. That's why having this conversation matters.
Exactly. Today, we'll be talking about what betrayal feels like, how it affects relationships, and how we deal with it emotionally. We'll share some stories and even some suggestions on how to recover and move forward.
And before we dive deeper into the discussion, let's take a quick moment to welcome our vocabulary specialist, Charlotte. She'll be with us later to explain some of the key terms we'll be using.
Thanks, Jake. I'm really excited to join you today, and I'll be back at the end of the episode to break down and explain some of the important vocabulary related to betrayal.
Thanks, Charlotte. We're glad to have you here. Now, back to our main topic, betrayal. It's such a personal experience, and the emotional toll it takes varies from person to person. Emma, have you ever experienced betrayal firsthand?
Yes, unfortunately, I have. I think most of us have. In my case, it was a close friend who broke my trust by sharing something deeply personal I had told her in confidence. I felt so let down.
That must have been really hard. It's always more painful when the betrayal comes from someone you thought you could trust completely.
Exactly. The pain wasn't just from what she did, but from realizing I had trusted someone who didn't value that trust. It made me second guess other relationships in my life.
I've been there too. Betrayal doesn't just hurt you in that one relationship, it ripples out and makes it hard to trust others, even those who haven't done anything wrong. I remember at work a colleague took credit for a big project I led. I felt completely blindsided.
Oh, wow, that's tough. When you're relying on someone professionally and they turn on you like that, it can feel like the rug's been pulled out from under you.
Exactly, and after something like that, I became way more cautious. I was constantly watching my back and second-guessing people's intentions.
That's what betrayal does. It forces you to put up emotional walls. But oddly enough, those walls also teach you something. They make you think carefully about trust and boundaries.
Definitely. It's a painful lesson, but it helps you recognize who truly values you and who doesn't. Now let's talk about the emotional consequences of betrayal. Because it's not just about being hurt, it can affect your sense of identity and stability in relationships.
Yes, betrayal hits hard, emotionally. It makes you question your decisions, your instincts, even your worth. The hardest part for me wasn't just losing the friendship, it was losing confidence in my ability to judge people.
That resonates so much. Betrayal causes you to doubt yourself. You wonder, how did I not see this coming? And that line of thinking can spiral.
Absolutely. It's like you're living in a constant state of emotional defense. You overanalyze every interaction, expecting betrayal even when there's no reason to suspect it.
Exactly, and that constant suspicion keeps you from truly connecting with others. You're protecting yourself, but you're also shutting people out.
And once those emotional walls go up, it's so hard to bring them back down. Learning to trust again is probably one of the hardest parts of healing.
Right? You want to stay open, but you also don't want to get hurt again. So it becomes this delicate balance of letting people in while guarding your heart.
And part of finding that balance is learning when to drop the fear and when to maintain strong boundaries. You can still build trust, just with more wisdom and awareness.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important question. Why do people betray others in the first place? Because understanding that can help us make sense of our experiences.
Yes, Betrayal often comes not from cruelty, but from fear or insecurity. Sometimes people betray others to avoid loss, to gain advantage, or to protect themselves.
Especially in professional environments. Sometimes ambition drives people to act selfishly, even betray someone they respect.
Right. And sometimes the person doesn't even realize they're doing harm. Emotional immaturity can lead people to act without thinking about the consequences.
That's true. It doesn't justify the behavior, but recognizing the root causes can help you see that their actions were about their own weaknesses, not your worth.
Exactly. When you understand that betrayal is often about the betrayer's internal struggle, it helps you stop blaming yourself.
But even when we get to that point, the emotional damage still lingers, which leads us to the next step. How do we heal and move forward?
Right. Healing is a unique process for each person. For some, it starts with forgiveness, both of the other person and of yourself.
Yes, forgiveness doesn't mean you're okay with what happened. It means you're ready to stop carrying the pain around.
And boundaries become even more essential. You learn how to protect yourself without shutting yourself off entirely from others.
That's key. And it's important to reflect on what the experience taught you about loyalty, communication, and emotional needs.
Yes, you become more aware of your values and more mindful about who you choose to let into your life.
And most importantly, you begin to trust yourself again. Rebuilding self-confidence is a major part of moving forward.
In the end, betrayal can actually lead to personal growth. It's painful, but it shows you your inner strength and helps you build healthier relationships in the future.
Exactly. Now, before we end today's episode, let's bring Charlotte back in to help us go over some of the important vocabulary we touched on.
Thanks, Emma. Let's quickly review a few key terms from today's conversation. Betrayal, the act of breaking trust in a painful way. Guarded, being emotionally cautious due to past hurt. Boundaries, emotional or relational limits we set for protection. Self-esteem, our sense of confidence and personal value. Self-doubt, when we question our own judgment or choices. Naive, overly trusting or lacking experience. Suspicious, distrustful or wary of others' intentions. Malice, the intention to do harm. Self-preservation, acting to protect oneself, even at others' expense. Ambition, a strong desire to succeed or achieve goals. Insecurity, a lack of confidence or assurance. Emotional immaturity, not fully understanding how actions affect others. Forgiveness, letting go of anger or resentment. Emotional baggage, lingering pain or trauma from past events. Growth, personal development through overcoming difficulty. These words help describe not just the act of betrayal, but the emotional journey people go through when trying to recover from it.
Thanks so much, Charlotte. That vocabulary really brings clarity to everything we've discussed.
It does. We hope today's episode has helped you reflect, heal, or even understand betrayal a bit more deeply.
And we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced betrayal? Are you in the process of moving on? Leave a comment below and let's support each other.
Exactly. Your story might help someone else who's going through something similar. We'll be reading and replying to your comments.
Thanks again for being with us on the #1 English podcast. If you found today's talk valuable, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit from it.
And hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episodes. We've got more powerful topics coming your way.
Take care of yourself, stay strong, and keep learning.
We'll see you next time. Bye for now.